He's going to be the next senator from Tennessee. He joins me now. Good morning, Ambassador. Great to have you on the Hugh Hewitt Show.
Hey, good morning, Hugh. Please call me Bill.
Well, I never do that. I always tell people I'm just too reflexively used to the other way. Lou Bremer calls you Bill. I've got some mutual friends with you, Ambassador. Tell us
Yeah,
why you
Lou's a
want to
great.
do this, because I always understood why Lamar Alexander could not do public service, but you're a very successful businessman. You don't need this. Why do you want to be in the United States Senate from Tennessee?
Hugh, want is never a word I've used. I feel like I must do it right now because I've never seen our nation at a greater crossroads than today. We face tremendous challenges, both domestic and abroad. And when President Trump and I talked about whether I should do this, he spoke with me in depth about my perspective, my experience with China, and the fact that we actually need somebody with backbone to step up and serve in the United States Senate right now. So I'm doing this for the children and grandchildren of the people here in Tennessee and my own children and hopefully grandchildren someday too. We're at the point where we could lose America to these radical Democrats if we don't step up.
Now, Ambassador Hagerty, you just came back from Japan, and I've been trying to explain. I just had Mike Gallagher on. I had Mike Pompeo at the Nixon Library last week. Japan
Yep.
is a frontline state against the People's Republic of China. What is their view of what General Secretary Xi is up to? And when you get to the United States Senate, because I think you're going to win, what's your message going to be to your colleagues?
Hugh, Japan sees it very clearly, just as I do. There's a reason that President Trump sent me to Japan because that's where our military base for that entire region is located. We have more American military stationed in Japan than any place else in the world. We're staring China in the eye every day, militarily, diplomatically, and economically. And Japan feels it very clearly because China has been encroaching on their space there. You look what they're doing in the Senkaku Islands, the East China Sea, the South China Sea. China is all over them. Also, Japan suffers just as we do from the malign diplomatic behavior of China and also the economic cheating that's been going on for decades. While both Democrat and Republican administrations here have looked the other way, Japan's been suffering from that too. They've let China continue to progress unfairly on every dimension. Now it's time for the United States to step up. Japan appreciates President Trump's leadership. Also, Prime Minister Abe there is stepping up too. So we're in a different place right now.
What did you make of your time there? I visited Japan a few times when my family was stationed over there and enjoyed always the courtesy and reception of the Japanese people. But it also seems to me that they have got far greater challenge than they are capable of meeting with China, given their existing defense policy. Do you think that will change?
Well, I worked on it extensively to help Japan integrate better and more closely with our U.S. military capacity there. Make no mistake, we see the problem together very clearly. And Japan has been our strongest ally in that region, both dealing with China and also when I first arrived there, dealing with North Korea. We've been very strong allies, and we've become much stronger under the Trump administration. We made significant progress together, and we'll continue to do so.
Now, in the Senate, they are debating whether or not to give in this massive COVID Phase 4 bill a small amount of money to the United States Navy. It's only $20 billion. It ought to be $60 billion. What do you make of that? Are the Democrats just out of touch with the way the world is working right now?
The Democrats have been out of touch, Hugh, for so much. 8 years of leading from behind, that puts us at a significant disadvantage all over the world, but particularly in the Asia-Pacific region. And you know what the strategy was in the Obama administration versus North Korea? They called it strategic patience. I can translate that for you. That means look the other way. That's how North Korea ramped up their nuclear program. This is why China has become so aggressive in the South China Sea. You remember back in 2015 when Xi stood in the Rose Garden right next to Obama and said, "Oh, we're not going to militarize these islands that we're building there." You know what they are, Hugh. They're giant military assets they built along the busiest shipping lane in the world. The time has come to stand up to this, and President Trump has seen it very clearly.
Now, Ambassador Hagerty, I've got some friends down there, like you, Grant Sterritt's a Vandy lawyer, and of course I'm a Browns season ticket holder, so we owe the Haslams. The Browns are on the Haslams now, Jimmy and Dee, and you've got a great governor, his brother. He's got to get him to win this year. What is the political situation in the volunteer state? I'm on in a few stations across the state, but I don't think you've really got headwinds, do you?
In Tennessee, we're a strong red state. This has got to be the strongest support in the nation.